Miriam Zimms was a busy career woman when cancer stopped her in her tracks, not once, but twice. Miriam's health journey led her to a new chapter as an artist. Let's visit her home studio in Lutz.
I'm Miriam Zimms, and I'm an artist. I was a consultant in the solid waste management industry on the conservation side, specifically recycling and composting. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2010, went through treatment, chemotherapy, 4 surgeries with a double mastectomy and reconstruction. Then I found out that I needed to have my ovaries removed because I was BRCA1 diagnosed and had a genetic predisposition. So I had those out, wasn't feeling good, had some scans, and they found out I had a second primary unrelated to the breast cancer called chondrosarcoma in my left pelvis. And I had to have my left pelvis and my hip and a portion of my femur removed and rebuilt. It was a big shock.
This is a really, really big surgery, a really stress on people physically and emotionally, which translated into a lot of impactful physical disability for her.
And it took me 2 years to learn how to walk again.
That's a lot of downtime and a lot of time for your mind to go into different places so you can get depressed.
At the time, prior to breast cancer, my husband and I were trying to start a family. And then with sarcoma, we were not able to continue that process because of the issues with my pelvis. So yes, the cancer both were incredibly difficult. But for me, I had to work on the loss of family. That was the bigger issue. I knew I needed to lean into the loss, feel it, so I could move forward. And that is when art came into my life. The Arts and Medicine Studio is on the 3rd floor of the Magnolia campus at Moffitt. And I walked in and they have a menu of items that you can choose from that are what they call the healing arts.
When you have a cancer diagnosis, it's almost like you relinquish your life, okay? Because you basically give it to your healthcare team, but you want some control. And I think the arts and medicine provides individuals that control.
I started predominantly with ink. I can no longer dance the way I used to, so movement of that ink for me is almost like a new way of dancing. Then I moved into watercolor, mixed media. I started to do some 3D things. And so anything I can get my hands on now, I will put ink or color to it. Most of the things when I draw, 3 circles end up appearing. And 3 circles for me represents multiple things. They represent my globes, AKA my breasts, but I call them my globes since I was a tree hugger prior to my previous career. And then the ovaries, and then how the ovaries and the fallopian tubes connect. And so those 3 circles represent for me those losses of my female body. And Frida did that. And so she became my muse.
She did a number of images, different images of Frida Kahlo, or used that as sort of a model. And I just love those because Miriam empowers people, and Frida Kahlo was a very empowering woman.
Frida Kahlo is my inspiration. Frida came to art to process after a devastating body skeleton fracture from an accident. And when I first saw Frida's work, before I became an artist, I was like, wow, I don't know if I can look at that. That's pretty tough. Now I totally understand. A lot of people don't talk about body loss after cancer, body trauma, for men, women, and children. And it is a big deal because we see our bodies every day. I have 17 scars on my body, one that's 3 feet long, the chondrosarcoma one. And I use a lot of that etching to signify and release that body trauma, because I see it every day in the mirror. It's just part of an art canvas on my body now. So the way to do that is through drawing it.
It doesn't mitigate 100% of their pain that they're going through, but it certainly helps with it a lot. It takes their mind off of the things that are ailing them and the disabilities that they have. With relieving some of that stress, I do feel that it allows the body to heal itself.
The arts came into my life to help me process all of it. And therapy. I'm not some superhero. I had to have some therapy because some very traumatic things happened. But the art played a role in a daily practice for me that changed my life.
She started developing through art a whole new career.
So my husband was the first person to tell me that my art is amazing, and I thought, my husband loves me, so thank you so much. And then a curator said to me, Miriam, you're really talented. And then I started to think, maybe I am an artist. There were opportunities that have come up for gallery shows through the library, through Arts for All Florida, which helps disabled artists have their art shown. And all of a sudden, I have been in galleries throughout the state of Florida, including the capital. I am 12 years triple negative breast cancer free and 9 years chondrosarcoma free. So it's a miracle, and I'm grateful every moment to be present and alive.
You can see more of Miriam's work at encasawithm.com.